Hello, people, and welcome to another episode with Suleiman Love. Now today my topic is religion. Um, we're gonna talk about. Yes, I know. My thing is talking about love and how you can um, have love with yourself and with other people and to be a better person. But there's one question that, or not one question, but there's just one thing that people always say that really gets up under my skin. Because I had an experience like that, and it did not fan out good at all. Matter of fact, I almost hurt somebody, almost killed somebody actually, and I had to do something that I had to do something that as I didn't realize it then, but it would hurt me in the future. But it would lessen my rage, my anger, down a little bit to where something like that, where I would have less of a chance to do something like that to my loved one. Um, and yes, I loved her too, but to have that much rage just because you are talking to them and they are doing something that is annoying to you, and you ask them the question as to why, but they don't want to answer. They keep talking in riddles, and your blood is going up and up. Your anger is going up and up. Your rage is going up and up. And so eventually you ask the person to be quiet. Let everything calm down. Let it calm down. But they don't do it. They just keep on talking and talking and talking. And like they just like it's just like making fun of you. And you come out again, ask them again, be quiet. Let me cool down, and then you can talk, and then you can talk again. And they still just talking and talking and talking. And eventually, less than a second, I was at her throat. Less than a second. And I was lucky to have somebody there to stop me. And right then and there, I knew that I had to do something um, to try to relieve myself of that issue, at least a little bit, if not all the way. Just a little bit enough, so I won't have that. I won't have that. I will be much more lenient on that person when that thing have, or I can be able to think much more clearly, at least for the next few minutes. Um, so what I'm always hearing people say is, we're gonna pray about it. We'll pray. We'll pray. We'll make supplication to God. We'll pray. We'll pray. And we're going to leave it in God's hands. And whatever happens, and whenever God wants it to happen, then it will happen at that time. Who's to say it's not going to be 1 month? Who's to say it's not going to be 10 years? Who's to say it's not going to be 30 years? It will happen. Yes, it will happen. But who's to say that it's not going to be, that it's not going to be 10 years or 30 years? Who's to say? So you have to have your own action with it. You have to have action with it. Don't just make prayer and supplication and then just sit down on your butt being lazy, twirling your thumbs like this here and say, okay, whenever you're ready, whenever you're ready, whenever you're ready. You got to have action. There's this one hadith that I like. I call it tie a camel. That might be the wrong name of the hadith, but I like that. Tie a camel. It's where the Prophet Muhammad and one of the Sahabas was going out to the store. They was on their camel. And once they got to the store, the Prophet got off, tied his camel, but when the Sahaba got off, he was just gonna walk straight in. And when the Prophet asked him, he say, I trust in God that my camel is gonna be okay. Now I'm just putting my words in there. I don't know the exact words used. I just know that that was the incident, and I'm just using my words. And Prophet said, that's good. I'm glad that you have faith in God. I'm glad that you believe in God. But tie a camel. Always tie a camel. Now that is for time to think. Think about it. Don't just say, oh, that's a nice hadith. I like that. I like that. That's nice. Think about it. What is it actually saying? How does back then confirm to right now? Think about it. Ponder over it. Meditate on it. It might take you a week, it might take you a month to come up with the right answer. If you're a fast thinker, it just might take you a whole 24 hours. But think about it. You have to put action to it. Don't just say that I'm gonna ask for something and sit down and be lazy. Put work on it. Save. Go to work. Save money. If you have any meetings, go to meetings. If you have to go to school, take classes, go to school, take classes. If you have to get you a car, get you a car. But do your part. Hope everybody here understands what I'm talking about, because this really, when people say that, that really pisses me off when people say that. And just sit down and just think that they can just make dua and supplication and then sit down and twirl their thumbs thinking that everything is gonna be all hunky-dory and fall into their lap. No, you gotta put in work. Show that you're serious. Of course, God is gonna know that you're serious, but they'll probably also like to see your work, your sweat. Put in the work. Otherwise, it may be 10 years, it may be 30 years or longer before the answer comes to you or before that thing comes to you. So I hope I made my point for this topic. This is Suleiman Love. I'm signing off. Blessed be. Namaste.